Hi everybody! Welcome to our virtual story time for December. We are doing a theme of winter. This time. I am Miss Lucy Rose and this is
Miss Jen,
who you might recognize from our story times here at the library.
Miss Lucy Rose, what do you like about winter?
Oh, I love that question. Okay. I love being inside on like a cold, blustery day, and I love having some hot tea and a good book and just feeling cozy and warm
Yeah,
inside.
that sounds like the perfect winter day. That sounds so cozy.
Yeah, what do you like about winter?
So I actually really like some of the holidays that come in the winter. I have a few friends who celebrate Hanukkah, and then I celebrate Christmas, and that's fun. But I also really like winter sports.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
What do you like to do?
I like curling
What?
with the little curls.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I go curling, and
I had no
I
idea.
ice skate, and so like skiing and stuff. I am from Michigan,
Oh my
so
God.
I feel like it's a very when you come from a winter state. So there's yeah,
That's amazing.
but I like it.
I
know.
should be into winter sports because I grew up in the mountains and everyone skied all the time. But I am terrible at them and I don't like being cold and wet. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
do it.
You know, it takes everything, right?
Yes.
So, but I'm very excited to be talking about winter and sharing some of the fun things about it.
We are doing some fun winter things. We have a craft, a song, and a couple of books. And we're also doing a flannel graph. which is
Ooh,
gonna be fun.
your flannel graphs are always really fun. So.
All right. We'll see you soon.
All right, it's time for a hello song. So get up, 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 so we can do it together. Up, down, turn around, touch the sky and touch the ground. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle shoulders, say hello. Let's do it one more time, okay? Up, down, turn around, touch the sky and touch the ground. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggle shoulders, say hello.
Hi. All right. So for today, I picked out this book called A Day So Gray. And it's a book about a couple of friends who find beauty and color even when it's cold and gray and maybe seems boring outside. They manage to find some beauty and some color even in a gray day. All right. All right. So this book is by Marie Lamba, art by Aaliyah Marley. A Day So Gray. This day is so gray. No, it isn't. It's deep, soft brown and shining blue, and silver splashes on bright yellow. This field is blah brown. No, it isn't. It's dots of orange and vines of black with sticks of licorice red and poofs of tan. Well, this snow is boring white. No, it isn't. It's lines of purple and squiggles of gray. It's gems of twinkling silver with stomps of green. Bad luck. That cat is black. She's not all black. She's also soft pads of pink and specks of white and eyes glowing yellow-green. Plus, she's warm, and that's a good thing. So is this fire. The fire is orange. I don't like orange. It isn't just orange, it's flashes of red and yellow, and sizzling black logs and gray bits of smoke. Well, it is cozy. Yes, yes it is. And so is the blue, green, and red blanket, and so is the black, pink, and white cat, and so is the brown, white, gray cocoa. Yum. And so is the purple and tangerine sunset. And we are cozy too, on this day that was so much more than gray. The end. I like this book because I am an artist and I love to draw. And I love beautiful colors, and I love that. I think maybe this character in the book is also an artist because she loves to find color and beauty everywhere she goes. Maybe this winter you and your grown-ups can go on a walk together and see how many different colors you guys can find. And maybe you could come into the library and tell me about it. All right, everybody. So I'm going to do a fun flannel graph story. This is a story called The Mitten, and I thought it would be fun to do because our theme this time is winter, and it's starting to get cold outside, and we have to wear our gloves and our mittens, and whenever it gets to be this time of year, I always think of this story because I loved it when I was little. All right, The Mitten. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool white as snow. Oh, so beautiful. Look at that mitten. His grandmother Baba made them for him. Oh, I forgot to tell you. This story is Ukrainian. It started in the Ukraine, and there's lots of different ways to tell it. But that's why the word for grandmother, that's why Nicky calls his grandmother Baba, because that's the Ukrainian word for granny. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. His grandmother Baba made them for him. Nicky went outside, and he dropped his new mittens in the snow. Why is that a problem? Can anybody think why dropping your white mitten in the white snow would be a problem? I think if you dropped your white mitten in the white snow, it would be very hard to find it again because it would blend in. So anyway, Nicky goes off and does his own thing. Maybe he's climbing a tree or chasing some birds or playing with sticks or building a snowman. He goes off and does his own thing, and then, while he is not looking, a mole discovers the mitten. Here's my mole. Here's my mole. A mole, there he is. A mole discovers the mitten. Maybe I should have it like this. A mole discovers the mitten and burrowed inside goes. Oh, so happy. Here, I'm going to bring this closer for everybody. And he burrows inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A rabbit came hopping by. There's my rabbit. Hop, 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 hop. He saw the mitten, and he wiggled in. The mole didn't think there was enough room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, his big old feet, he moved over. He was like, fine, whatever. So now there's both of them in there. Dink. Next, a hedgehog came snuffing along. He decided to move into the mitten and warm himself because it's cold out there in the snow. So the mole and the rabbit were bumped. They're like, hey, get out of here, man. There's not enough room for all of us. Oh, my mitten's fallen over. There's not enough room for all of us. But when they saw the hedgehog's prickles, they made room. So they're like, okay, I'm scooting over because I don't want to get prickled by your spiny prickles, Mr. Hedgehog. And then a big owl swooped down. Whoo, 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 whoo. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. They're like, oh man, really? Really? Another animal? We are all inside this mitten. How are we going to fit an owl? But when they saw the owl's talons, that's his, toenails, I guess? When they saw the owl's talons, they quickly let him in. They were like, we don't want to mess with you. You have really scary claws, so bye. So now they're all in there. A badger eyed the mitten and began to climb in. Oh my goodness. The mole, here's my badger. The mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, badgers love to dig, and they have very sharp, pointy claws that are very good for digging. When they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. Oh, they let him be in the thumb. Okay, that means I have to move my mole over here, and we put the badger in the thumb. Let's see, will he fit in there? So he has the thumb all to himself. They're like, you know what? If you're going to be in here, we're going to put you where your diggers are out of the way. A fox saw the cozy mitten and poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. This fox looks very, very cute, but I think underneath his cuteness, he has some very pointy, sharp teeth. So they gave him some room. Now everybody's getting very squished. It is getting very uncomfortable in here. I'm sure it's very warm, but it is also very cramped. A great... Oh, okay. Sorry. Before I say this, I want you to guess. What animal do you think is going to go in next? Let's see. What could possibly fit in this mitten? All right. A bear. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up because I think the mitten keeps getting bigger and bigger with all these animals in it. He began to nose his way in, and the animals were packed in as tightly as can be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten. So here he is. He's like, get in there. Move over, fox, move over. They're all like, no, oh my gosh. But they don't want to say anything because he's a bear and they're scared of him. So here he is, taking up all this room. The mitten swelled and stretched. Uh-oh. Does anybody think this... What could go wrong? Then, finally, along came a meadow mouse. Just a teeny tiny little mouse. She's so small. Oh, she just wants to be warm. Oh, she's so small. Okay, sorry. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable right on top of the great bear's nose. Boink. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, let out an enormous sneeze. Shoo! And the force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. I don't know how I'm gonna, let's see. Pew, 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 pew. All over the place. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten. So here comes Nicky. He's like, la la la, I've been playing in the snow and now it's time for me to go home for my borscht. That's a kind of soup that they eat in Ukraine, I think. And there was his lost mitten. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. He found them. Now, that's the end of the story, but I am a little worried. What are all these animals going to do out in the cold? That makes me a little sad. But I like to imagine that even though that's the end of the story, maybe all of the animals got the badger to use his diggers and dug them a lovely warm cave, and they all snuggled into the cave. Maybe that's what happened. All right. Thank you for listening.
All right, to keep up with our winter theme, we're going to be rereading about one of my good friends, Jack Frost, who comes and visits us every winter. The book is called Here Comes Jack Frost by Kazuno Kohara. Pretty House in the Winter. Once there was a boy who lived in a house in the woods. It was winter, and all his friends were hibernating. I hate winter, he sighed. But then, one cold morning, strange patterns appeared on the window. The boy ran outside and saw a white figure covering his house with frost and ice. "Who are you?" asked the boy. "I'm Jack Frost," replied the figure, and he ran into the woods. "Wait!" cried the boy, and chased after him. "You can't catch me," laughed Jack Frost. "You can't jump over this pond." But the boy had ice skates. "You can't catch me," cried Jack Frost. "You can't jump over the hill." But the boy had a sled. Jack Frost threw a snowball at the boy. He threw one back, and another, and another. It was quite fun. "Will you stay and play with me?" asked the boy. "Yes," smiled Jack Frost, "but never mention anything warm in front of me. That would break the spell and force me to leave. But now there are so many things we can do." "I know," said the boy. "Let's build snowmen." They built 3 so that they wouldn't feel lonely. All winter, the boy was careful not to mention anything warm. Until one day, they were playing hide and seek in the woods when the boy found something. It was a snowdrop. "Look, Jack Frost," said the boy. "It's almost spring." But Jack Frost was no longer there. The spell was broken. But in the wind that went through the woods, the boy was sure he heard a whisper. "See you next winter." So every winter, Jack Frost comes to visit and then has to leave in the spring. What are some of the things you like to do during the winter season? Hi everyone, I'm so thrilled to be here with you, and I'm going to be teaching you our song for this story time. So with our whole theme being winter, I thought it'd be really cool to talk about some of our winter accessories that we wear. So you're gonna put on your hats, you're gonna put on your scarf, put on your mittens, and you're gonna put on your boots. And we're going to do this to the tune of head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You may know this one, all right? Hats, scarves, mittens, boots, mittens, boots. Hat, scarf, mittens, boots, mittens, boots. Warm and cozy, snow is here. Hats, scarves, mittens, boots, mittens, boots. Yay!
Hello! Alright, so for our craft today, I'm going to show you how to make a really cute, festive, wintry mitten ornament. So the first thing you want to do is we're going to trace our hand on the paper. So I'm going to trace it in, but I'm going to kind of do a mitten shape out of my hand. Alrighty, and so there I have my mitten shape, and I'm going to cut it out. And I'm actually going to make 2 mittens, so I'm going to layer them on top of each other and then cut out the mitten together. What's nice about drawing mittens is they are very easy to do. It's hard to mess it up because all you need is a thumb and then room for your fingers. All right, so now I have my 2 mittens, but I'm actually going to keep them together because I'm going to sew them together with yarn. But first, I'm going to punch holes all around the edge so that I can sew my mitten together. Ooh. So I'm going to space them about 1 inch apart all the way around the edge. My hole punch is kind of making my life hard. Woo! These little circles are flying all over the library. I'm going to have to go around and pick those up afterwards. All right. Woo. Punch, punch, punch. All right, so it's all the way around the mitten. So now we have our 2 pieces. We still have both of them, but I'm keeping them on top of each other so that the holes stay aligned. All right, now it's time to sew them together, and this is super easy. So I have a pretty color yarn, and then if you have little fingers or if it's a little bit harder to do to get those yarns through the holes, sometimes I like to make myself a needle by wrapping a little bit of tape around the edge of the yarn to make it easier to go through the holes. Alrighty, so now you take your needle and thread it through the holes. And then at this end, leave it long so we can tie it together at the end. You just go in and out, in and through. We're sewing! Congratulations, you just learned how to sew. We did this craft last winter in December, and it was really fun because we read the story about the mitten, which is also in this virtual story time. I did the flannel graph version of the mitten story, which is one of my favorites. So this kind of goes with the whole mitten theme. Alrighty, so now we have our mitten, and then I just tie it together at the end. Da, da, da. So you could hang it somewhere. You could hang it on your fridge or on, if you celebrate with a Christmas tree, you could put it there. And it's just a fun little guy. And what's also fun about this is it's kind of like a pocket, so you can put something in there if you want to. And you can also, of course, decorate it. I just cut out this little bit of scrap paper in a pretty pattern. And I'm not getting really into the decorating, but if you want to go crazy with the decorating, by all means. And there you have it. Mitten. Hi! Alright, thank you so much for joining us for our winter story time. It has been so lovely to have you. We are going to say our goodbye song now. So get ready and we're going to touch the sky. Up, down, turn around. Touch the sky and touch the ground. Patch your belly, blink your eyes, blow a kiss, and wave goodbye. Alright, one more time. Up, down, turn around. Touch the sky and touch the ground. Patch your belly, blink your eyes, blow a kiss, and wave goodbye. Bye, everybody.